Our next game is Wine and Roses by Crazed Tex. This is another game I played when I was younger. I actually didn't remember until halfway through this marathon. One of the other games reminded me of this. Oh god, I have to find it and finally play it again. So we are now here doing that. Additional funny thing, now that RPGmaker.net is down, it's really hard to find the logo for the game. This is the one that's ripped from the title screen. There was one before which had the art of like the actual skeleton man. But I laughed that scrolling down I found literally like my RPGmaker icon pack I made as a kid on DeviantArt is like right under the results of the actual game, and it's not even related. It's like literally potions. It's potions and that counts as wine and rose. Google, get your shit together. I ended up just going for a screenshot. Anyway, on with the game. I already kind of covered what it was and why I was interested in it during that Let's Play, but I cannot remember which game it actually was where I remembered this. And I'm not going to go through and watch like 16 hours of every game I've recorded just to find this one tiny second, so just bear with me while I recap. It's a cool concept of a game where there's no actual leveling system. There's only like customizing like equipment, loadout, skills and stuff like that. Every battle is basically a mini boss battle, and every battle is theoretically completable using just the skills you're given. You have to wildly change up everything you do every time and really experiment. It's almost like a puzzle, figuring out like the one thing that will save your ass. It was a super unique experience at the time. I hadn't played any other games like it. Even now, all I can really point to as an example of this is, I guess, the one martial artist route on Live a Live. Oh, and the story was neat too. You play as some kind of weird skeleton baron man who has a team of like Charlie's Angels, but they're all like mages and thieves and warriors and stuff. I can't remember too much about the plot, except the premise was just really interesting, and then I felt really let down by the ending, which had a sudden twist that like the guy you were controlling all along was evil. Like the characters just like walk into a room, the final boss says, actually, protagonist guy is evil, I'm the good guy, come join me, and they just don't question her at all, and they go and join her. And like he's killed off screen mid-battle without even a cutscene or anything, and they're just like, that's where it ends. It just ends on the cliffhanger. Now we work for the person we thought was evil who apparently isn't. And I just felt it was a huge letdown because I didn't feel it was foreshadowed at all that the guy was actually evil. I didn't believe her, and I just thought it's like, this is a downer, everyone's got tricked by some weird villain. And then they never actually followed it up with a sequel. I did find that it is actually a sequel, but it's like more of a spin-off in an entirely different universe and doesn't follow up on any of those plots. I'll cover that at the end of the video. So yeah, that was a big downer on the game, and it also made me really want to play it again to see if like, was this just because I played this when I was quite young? Did I just miss the foreshadowing? That's my main goal going into this Let's Play. Can I notice any tiny hints that this guy is actually an evil fuck? To be honest, I still hope not, because I liked the endearing skeleton man. So yeah, that's how we're going into it. This is a nostalgic game, but it's not one I super adored or have too many memories of. Who knows, maybe I will end up enjoying it more this time. Born of the future to pop in here and say I actually ended up enjoying the game less than I did when I was younger, and I was still pissed off at the same things I did when I was younger, and in fact even worse. So this is going to be one of those roasting a bad game playthroughs, sadly. Starting it off now. I gotta say, I do not remember the game's logo looking so terrible on the title screen. Did they put the and the wrong way around? But I am very nostalgic for that particular text window screen thing. I think I recall I might have used it myself in one of my early projects. Anyway, let's set our timer and have a go. Yeah! That's a cool design I remember! It is good to have an end to journey toward, but it is the journey that matters in the end. Don't know what that means. Yeah, they even had like the cool, these cool sprites, taller sprites and everything. Like, I don't know if it's all custom made for the game or if it was an asset pack from somewhere, but it looks really unique. I've never seen it used in any other game, so I am inclined to believe it was custom. Anyway, whoever made this, you're awesome. Wait, I didn't know that was a battle. Pushing all the way right will let you end your turn. Okay, I need to remember how we do this very unique battle system. Because here we had sanity, we had N, we had HP. Did they not have a tutorial? Oh, because I remember, it is a really unique system and having a tutorial would really help. So this is an undead enemy, obviously, so this should work. Oh yeah, she has the ability to attack and drain HP for everybody else except her. That was really cool. I don't remember there being a battle before you even introduced the characters or how to play. That does kind of suck if you just like accidentally. I thought it was an NPC you could talk to. I don't know if this counts as a humanoid because it's on a horse. Maybe I was just oblivious as a kid, because I played this when I wasn't like a kid, it was like, I guess 19 or 20-ish, like very late teens. It was the first time I moved house away from, like, because I lived in a homeless shelter for a while, and then after I lived in a supported accommodation, and then the first time I moved to like my own place on my own, which is up in St. Mellons. I didn't really like it there. I was very stressed the first night I moved in. I remember playing this game amongst others to calm myself down while I was waiting for the internet to get installed. Oh, that's really good. An attack that doesn't wake you up if you're sleeping. Yeah, all of these are cool. I think I'll have to like study them myself and figure out what to use in these situations, but for now I guess we'll just use the good undead attack. Yeah, oh, that's how it is. It's like everyone can take a certain amount of things, and that's what the energy means, is you can take a certain amount of actions per turn per character. Every character can do 3 moves per turn, or you can press all the way right to end a turn prematurely and like save up the end for like stronger moves later. Okay, for the first battle, this is already actually really difficult, and I really wish there had been a tutorial. Like, if they were going to do this for... Oh, the music is really good, though. That was also a thing I remember. The problem with all the music is all the music starts off really quiet at the start of the battle, then gets really loud. It's cool, but I had a lot of trouble setting up, like, the volume for this recording. I'll probably fix it in post if there's any errors. Okay, we should put damage up on you, because you're the one who's effective against undeads. I do like her monocle. Try critical hits. Critical hits are dealing more than the thing that's effective against undead, so maybe we should have spent all that on her. Yeah, I really do wish that the tutorial was giving us more information. It's just constantly, this is how to end your turn. Oh, thank you! That's actually a really good thing I didn't remember, is having this reactive talk. That's how the bad twist happened, is entirely through these talk things every turn in battle was how they reveal, oh, by the way, he was evil all along, by the way, the villain is actually good, and we switched sides to the villain, and we killed him off screen, is entirely through these, like, every turn pop-ups, and that was why I thought it was really confusing and bad for an ending, but they're really good early on. It's cool to have, like, reactive things, like, a sense of story throughout the battle, and also just helpful reactive tips to what just happened. Like, as you can see, I just got a status effect, and he's telling me about status effects. That's really cool. I wonder how he managed to program it to recognize all this stuff. Anyway, which one of us had to heal? Yeah, it does suck to be just thrown in the deep end of a really fucking difficult battle and no idea what the hell is going on. I think maybe if I didn't have, like, slight muscle memory of playing this before, I would be doing a lot worse. I don't remember if you can stack multiple times. I guess we'll see. I guess not, because it doesn't change the icon. I also don't remember what the sanity does. We seem to have like over 100% sanity. Oh, it's depleted by certain attacks. See, you know, this enemy is fucking destroying us with like 10,000 different statuses every turn, and this girl does not get to do anything because all she's doing is like being on status recovery duty. Oh, and it only recovered one of her status. Can we only recover one status every turn? That fucking sucks. Maybe I think I forgot how overly difficult this game. I remember taking a long time to get to the true ending and being really let down that was a true ending. Was this game just phenomenally difficult the entire time, and I'm having rosy memories of it and forgetting how much I struggled? I just noticed that the enemy is called Salutations. That's actually kind of funny. Like, we're riffing on how cruel we are. Hello, this is our welcome enemy. Okay, are you a fucking enemy too? Like, where is the tutorial? Who is the tutorial? How are the tutorial? Who am I? Who is anybody? Who are these girls? What is going on? Again, if I hadn't already had previous knowledge of this game before, like, knowing, like, you are a skeleton, here is your Charlie's Angels, guys, it would suck to just walk in and your first introduction to the game is just a enemy that likely would have killed me if I didn't already, like, kind of know what I was doing. Oh, this is the NPC we can talk to get more information. Gosh, how did I not recognize these two things that are both using a monster sprite? One of them was okay to talk to. 'Tis justice, not charity, that is wanting in the world. The spell, Pia Call, can now be cast. Use the assign menu by pressing X or S. What the fuck did that mean? Is this just a guy who just walks around and randomly says, like, motivational quotes and just acquires skills from that? Did we make this fairy explode by saying such a mind-blowing quote? Anyway, yeah, that's the thing is, your characters, they don't have any levels, they only have different skills you can equip and stuff. Oh, here now we get some information at them. Formerly an attorney, Argent found her that true calling was to be an exorcist. Minor spelling mistakes are going to happen. She excels at weapon attacks and defense. So yeah, she's your, like, warrior type. That's one thing I gotta say is, it's hard to really tell what type or personality or anything any of these characters have, because they are all just, like, cool, mature, sexy woman who is sassy. And I don't know. And we haven't had any cutscenes or any introduction to anybody. Rumoured to be the daughter of a bog witch, Carl Manfred is quite a persuasive detective. She excels at solar spells and staying sane. Okay, so we have an attorney and a detective, which are both kind of really similar roles, and also not in any way really communicated by the character design or by their skills. Or the plot. I'm not sure why the attorney and the detective are working with a giant skeleton. Or why they have Charlie's Angels powers. Yeah, all I remember is, like, she's the assassin. And she looks like the assassin, and her abilities are the assassin. She's the only one who makes any sense. It is so funny to just think our team is an attorney, a detective, and an assassin. Lunar and Solar, that was like light and dark and with confusing names. So we've got physical, light, and dark skills, which again is a weird combination. Okay, weak Solar, okay, so Solar should be on the second one. Yeah, I remember a lot for going to the menu and having to click through all of them to see what equips on who. Okie doke. And we'll save over here. Was there anything in the system we can do? Is there like an auto run? Oh, that's cool. It's one of the few ones which lets you change the window colours. That was a neat old feature in this era of RPGmaker that not many people actually used. That's weird how it only has normal and instant and no fast option for text speed up. There is actually... Oh, we're auto-running by default and pressing shift makes us go slower. Okay. I was going to say it seemed like we were walking faster. Okay, does it mean our fairy's always, like, friendly? Despair has its own... Yeah, is this literally like we're not getting any plot or clarification who we are and what we're doing? We're just walking up to random people and saying motivational words at them to somehow acquire magic? Are these fairies just pissed off on us and just throwing materia at us so we'll go away? Okay, Morbid Whim, I'm assuming that's like the base lunar attack, right? Yeah. Okay, and we go to the side, we cannot. And we kind of go because there's skeleton blocking way. Okay, we're very like... Yeah, this is really weird. We've had multiple battles before we actually have any clarification who we are and what we're doing. These are new, aesthetically pleasing also. I'll hang them. See, you're endearing already! I can't believe you're a bad guy. That would wouldn't it just fundamentally suck if he was a bad guy? Like, there's no subversion in that. It's not really an interesting ending. It's just, oh, it's really interesting to play as a skeleton for once. Wow, a skeleton being a good guy for once. And then it's just the twist is, no, he's actually not. Your surprise is making things more normal and how they are in every other game forever. Okay, so I do kind of like how it's like subtly giving us tutorials. Like it just gave us these two spells, and here we have enemies which are clearly representative of those two spells, like visually, but it's not directly telling us. That's a cool idea, but I do also feel that they maybe should have thrown in a few like actual direct tutorials about basic gameplay functions before we got to this. Like it's subtly teaching us subtle things, but it's not teaching us at all basic things. Oh, sanity points to your MP too, so it drains your sanity to use those. Okay, I have to bear that in mind. It is really hard, like, I feel like I'm not judging this fairly because I'm remembering what I remembered from when I played it before, and I'm like, now I remember what I'm supposed to do, but the game isn't actually telling me what I'm supposed to do, so a regular player doing this for the first time would not be having as much of a positive experience, and I feel like I have to be fair to that. Anyway, resistance up. It is also slightly annoying that you have to manually hit to end the turn every time, like, it would be... Bloody fucking hell, they're so overpowered, and it's like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're just gonna get destroyed. And also the enemy's attacks go so fast you can barely see what they're even doing. But, as I was trying to say, it is a bit annoying that every turn you have to manually go and end. Like, it would be good to have a thing, like, once you've all run out of turn points, it just automatically ends. Like, most games do have that. Anyway, resistance up on myself. Maybe I'll cast damage up on myself. Damage up on you, because then you can use it. Yeah, you can use it before the turn is up. I need to make sure to not have your sanity go too low because you're the only one who can't recover sanity. And you can recover sanity, so let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, seriously, why do the enemy's attacks go so much faster than all of us? Okay, so I I'd be careful killing them off. Demons can get quite angry. Does that mean that if we don't defeat them both at the same time, one of us can become more stronger if their friend dies? Thank you for the warning. Again, thank you, helpful skeleton man I have given no reason not to trust. And the next turn we'll start using the healing blade. Okay, so that enemy has some kind of draining healing attack. That's all I managed to catch in how fast that fucking went. So try and get you slow and then we'll start focusing on the other one. Oh, burning, so you're- oh shit, you got burning on you. So you might possibly die next turn before we can even get the other guy down. Fuck. See, again, everything goes so fucking fast, I didn't even register. Okay, I can't do that because it's gonna cause more damage on it. Oh, that's a HP drain, so you can get some of your HP back. Oh, we managed to kill him. And it hasn't gone down even though it's killed. Okay, that's ominous. Okay, that seemed like that was where the animation seemed like it was killed, but it wasn't. And that one also went down and it hasn't. Okay. Do they not die unless you kill them before? No, it looks like it's literally dead. What's going on? I don't think we need to bother using Radiant Blade. If I remember correctly, our HP returns to max after every battle. So should we just... Okay, yeah, that's really weird. I would throw it out as an error. It's like, it seems weird how it seems like the enemy dies when it doesn't. And also this one it literally has 0 HP shown on the bar and it's still alive. I don't think that was what it meant by if one of them is killed the other one and get enraged. That doesn't match at all. I think it's just an error with whatever HP bar script they're using. Story please? Story please. Any idea who anyone is, please? Nothing contributes so much to tranquilize the mind as a steady purpose. Weird break in the text. A point on which the soul may fix its intellectual eye. Maybe we should try and figure out what these actually mean. That could be my contribution to the total dearth of any story that we're getting. I think this just means it helps calm down your anxiety if you know what you're doing and you're focusing towards a goal. Thank you for that motivational thing delivered in the worst way possible. And for some reason that gives us toxicness. That's the exact opposite. There's no correlation between these motivational quotes and the abilities. Also, why does it keep telling us that we have to assign it in the menu and how to assign it in the menu every single time? Okay, so it would logically make sense to put toxic on you. Yeah, because it also deals lunar damage. That's interesting, at least. We have burn and poison are more differentiated because it deals fire and... Well, I guess like fire and moon, light and moon, I don't even... Whatever do these correlate to? Solar and lunar. Are you the person who will give us a story? Are you an enemy? We should start saving them because I know the battle's going to get really, really hard. I think the battles are probably going to get really hard. Okay, Hi, Born of the Future. You may have noticed for the last 2 battles there have been a lot of cuts, and that's because these fights are actually very, very long. And so I've made an executive decision for this one fight and this one fight only. I'll be playing with no editing, and you can see just how long it takes to get through any battle. Literally every single minor fight is a boss fight, which is cool thematically, but also in certain ways you can see the problem with it. Wolves in my house! Spiders in my vagina! That is at least interesting to have, like, a Cerberus, a werewolf, and another werewolf, but tall. Also, why is that one werewolf, like, over the top of the text box? Okay, no idea what these will deal, so I'm assuming that they're going to be lunar because they're dark-ish. Kybros, okay. So I guess that's the word for werewolf in this setting. I wish we knew a single thing about the story. Yeah, sanity and HP restores at the end of every battle, that's good. Okay, so that's not really very useful. That is a lot of things that raises, but these are all things I don't particularly need right now. That wouldn't work, so probably the Luna, should I just not do anything because she's not very useful right now? I should try and put more of a variety of skills on them so they're not so hampered by the weaknesses. Let's just put luck up anyway because we can't really do anything else. And then just general smash. Also, when did our HP rise up higher than the other two? Does equipping the certain skills also affect your stats? I can't remember. Okay, poison lowers that they can heal. Did they heal? I didn't even catch a light, it went so fast. So your lunar thing is actually useful here, even though they're not, can you inflict both fire and... You can, that's good. Thank you for that. Thank you for your lovely clarifying help, Mr. Cool Skeleton Man. We don't seem to need to raise our ailment inflicting rate because it's guaranteed doing it every time. Is it going to get better later on? Are enemies going to have more resistance to it? Okay, so you're the healing one. And you heal your poison every time you do it. So that's going to really nice. Have to reapply poison every turn on you. Maybe I should just bother taking the other ones out. Thank you for that fact about wolf teeth, you lovely skeleton man. Yeah, I think I should focus on taking the other two down because he can't seem to heal the others. He can only heal himself. Why am I assuming the gender of this weird wolf tiger? They don't really look like wolves, they kind of look like recolored tigers. Okay, you can heal. Okay, we don't do the same thing every turn then. Thank you for the wolf facts again! Poison is worn off. So you're the healing guy we should focus on getting rid of. Okay, it can fail sometimes, okay. Oh, maybe it's only failing because we got such low HP on that one. And it's a shame our cool skeleton man is blocking the view of the HP. And again, it's a shame that it's gone down to bloody 0 and it's still showing. Maybe once they're already at 0, you have to hit him again to knock him out. Is that just how it works? Eating the meat of a wolf-killed lamb will turn you into a vampire. I have not heard that folklore before. Thank you for giving us lovely facts to distract from how boring and strange this battle system is. Okay, that's being a bit unfair. Thank you for giving us wonderful facts to distract from how confused I am about everything else. That is all I just wanted to share. Thank you so much, lovely skeleton man, and we don't even know the name of yet. Seriously, is this like going for retro in that way of like you have to read the manual to know what the fuck the game is about? After this I'm gonna go and look on the page and find out the information, because I could swear it was about being like a Charlie's Angels type team. And I swear they did have a name for this man. And they had some kind of personality or anything setting them apart? I don't know. Wait, why did Radiant Blade hit twice that time? That wasn't in the description at all. Does that mean, like, it's not a multi-hit attack or anything? Is there just something weird going on with how this game handles, like, a death status? Also, it's kind of weird how status ailments wear off, but boosts and, like, positive ailments never do. What happens when we run out of sanity anyway? Yeah, I'm realising this probably isn't very good for Let's Play because every battle being as difficult as a boss means it takes fucking ages and I'm gonna make like zero progress between like one room of the house before this ends. I also run out of stuff to say when I'm just repeating the same turn over and over. All I can do is really say, like, it is engaging to play. It probably isn't so much when you're watching it, but just believe me. Wait, now we can use that twice per turn? Is it like the less enemies are left, like the more turns I get or something? I really wish there was any kind of tutorial for this. Like, I'm taking back the praise I give about that one thing being like naturalistically tutorialized to you because literally nothing else is, including the very basic elements. Okay, it seems there's not any any negatives to running out of sanity. It's just you can't use any special attacks now. And oh, that's why it's casting luck down, because it's reducing our rate of casting reducing our rate of casting ailments. So that's why it's like it's guaranteed when you're on 0, but then it gets lower if they cast it down. Okay, so luck actually is important in this game. Also, I'm realising I misclicked and that wasn't the one that restores HP. Shit. I just lost a whole turn of HP restores. This is grindier than I remember. Like, grindier as in every battle is a grind. It's really interesting in concept to have every fight be a boss fight, but also just, you really shouldn't be struggling this much for like the very first few battles of the game. Our timer is up and we have still yet to get out of the third fight. Can we cure thingy? Okay, we'll put you on duty for curing those ailments. I think he is just out healing them more than we can, and we can't get that sanity back, so... Yeah, damage up just... Let's put damage up on everyone because it just lasts forever. It is interesting in some way to be slowly figuring out what the hell I'm doing wrong. Okay, one of us is out, but it's the one who didn't have any NP anyway. Yeah, it's out healing us, we're fucked. And we didn't save before this battle, did we? I don't know. Okay, we're doing pretty decent here, I guess. Does that also heal an ailment? Okay, every boost heals precisely one ailment at the same time. That's weird how it being more effective when one of us is dead. Does that apply to us too? Are our attacks boosted when one of us is dead? Or am I just getting more lucky? It's really hard to figure out what I'm doing. Again, the enemy's attacks go so fucking fast. I think it might just be because now we're putting the burn back on them because we're having a lot of trouble with that because our luck was low. See, I wasn't even picking up that my attack wasn't inflicting burn for a while because everything's going so fucking fast. Okay. So there you go, that's how long it takes to finish one battle in real time. I'm gonna now go back to cutting it down, but just bear in mind every time that's what I'm going through. There are even longer ones than this by far. And also this is why I don't like to upload my streams without editing, because I just feel like I'm not a very good, like, on-the-spot, improvisey type person. You ever notice there was a lot of gaps and there was a lot of me trying to say something and fumbling over my words and repeating it 3 times. That's all the stuff that I scrub out of the usual videos, and I hope you're grateful for me making myself slightly more funny. Anyway, let's continue on. And we'll save. To really ask us to open the door to the whirlwind, the answer may annihilate the question and the questioner. To open yourself up to being emotionally genuine brings both great rewards and the potential of great harm? I don't know. And from that we can blow people. There's no correlation whatsoever. Okay, conjure strong wings that remove a string. Does that mean it removes an ailment from us, or does it mean it removes a buff from an enemy? They really should be like clarifying, like, does ailment and enchantment, does it mean like positive and negative status effects? I guess we'll give it to you because I have no idea. I think I'm not going to have any hope of getting any story or any idea what's going on yet. I was totally right to be really confused why stuff suddenly like changed and got bad. Is that going to treasure chest? Okay, it's where we get gifts. No, that's not a treasure chest, we just cannot interact with it in any way. And here is the random sci-fi room. No, it's not. It's just my wine room, I guess. It's kind of annoying. You can't interact with any objects. And there's a fridge. Yeah, what is the point in this room? There's nothing here. There's something down here? Okay, that's a really confusing mapping. You just bonk into the wall. More treasure chests that we can't open in any way. Is that a door? That's not just a random panel? I have no idea what the fuck I am. Okay, here's a room with more enemies and stuff. It's also really good in theory, that you can just go anywhere and face anyone in any order. But it's not, because I have no idea if I'm going in the intended direction or if I'm going in a place that's way too high level for me. Because you don't even have levels. If I'm going in a place which is way too high skill for me and requires a skill I haven't got yet to defeat. And also I don't really know how to navigate it because it's really confusing. I just go for one more fight, go for one more fairy, and like, maybe if we backtrack we try and go like directly forward, and maybe that if I was in the intended direction there might be more story. Okay, this is a sleepy mummy guy, I guess. So far it seems like almost everything is weak to solar. Let's just save up a little bit for a turn. Ah, so you're a sleep guy. I am getting like immediate flashbacks to struggling with the sleep guy. Okay, so now we can only use one of them. That's at least good that it shows it's fading out, that state is going to be gone next turn. Okay, I can't remember, does he respawn them if you kill them? Is it one of those ones? Oh, fuck. I'm going to start to cast poison on you. Because you're clearly the guy that we care about who is very, very scary. And it seems he might be very resistant to poison. Shit. Ah, we wasted our entire fucking turn. Oh, and he can just recast sleep every turn. So yeah, We had no way of knowing that we weren't supposed to go here yet. We could have only gone here when we had, like, a fucking... Okay. Thank you, at least it lets us escape, but, like, evidently we're not supposed to be here until we have some kind of anything to combat sleep. So I'm guessing it means this is the wrong way to go. Let's try and go down the middle path, because maybe the middle path is meant to be the story intended path, and maybe that will give us any kind of story, any idea where we are or what our goal is. And if not, then we'll just stop and we'll go and look on the actual game page and find out who we are and what our goal is. Would it really have killed you to put an opening cutscene? So okay, I avoided you because I assumed because you have a unique sprite you might be like a unique scary enemy. So if this is the area we're supposed to be going, I'm going to talk to you. Are you going to be important? Okay, our first bit of actual story! No indication whatsoever we had to talk to this particular enemy after 3 non-skippable battles. And also, don't go in the other direction or you'll miss this. Lord Francis, we have the name of our protagonist at 38 minutes into the game. Lord Francisco's predilection towards a good Cabernet is evident in the halls of Fort Ada. Unfortunately for him, he is skeletal. In his current state, he cannot consume any form of alcohol. That's it. It's just what it is. Every character is just, we talk a random line of quotes that have nothing to do with the current situation to nobody, and then we just gain a skill. Is that how the whole story is going to be delivered? Also, our cool design, like, we look like a vampire and we're apparently an attorney. That guy in Phoenix Wright who hits a table with his leg. And why did we get that from a random flower person who just vanished after we said something and she didn't say anything? And I don't know. Could it not literally just be like a glowing spot on the wine, like talking to the wine gives us a skill and a conversation about the wine? Why did there have to be someone who looks like an enemy? Was it just on purpose to make people not click it and not get the story? Anyway, we got some kind of equipment thing for her. Also, generally, why even is there a button for abilities and assign abilities when, like, assign abilities is what you're going to be using all the time? Okay, our weapon attacks will sometimes inflict resistance down. That's good. So far, I haven't got anything to inflict status downs on the enemies. Why is the music suddenly getting very loud? Yeah, every song in this has a really weird issue of just being really, really quiet for a long time. Okay. You know, I'm gonna fuck on, so I'm gonna see how far we can go without actually talking to anybody. Okay, you seem to be some kind of final boss. Is it just the room of the final boss we can walk into at the end of it? Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna see how badly we lose this obviously too late for us battle. See, it's weird how some of them look really obvious and some of them are just like, hey, where we have generic imp and then you touch it and it's the mummy man who inflicts sleep on everyone and you die. My favourite statue is only missing a head. Okay, so it's an animated statue. It didn't look like that at all on the overworld. Okay. I can't really tell who's weak to solar or lunar. I'm just assuming so far everything we've encountered has been weak to solar, except that one thing which is clearly glowing red. If so, that'd be a really bad shame if like one element was like overpowered over all the others. Okay, so you can heal status every turn. It's a shame you have to vanquish it. Pat you on head. Yeah, we may as well just waste a few turns every battle, putting every buff on everyone because they never wear off. And I guess re-poisoning him and he'll take it off every time. Because yeah, it casts damage down, it doesn't remove our damage up. Yeah, okay. So enchantments means like positive buffs, and then debuffs I guess are called something else? Yeah, debuffs are called ailments, okay. So you count as a humanoid, you're on a horse! Okay, it doesn't deal more, you don't count as a humanoid. Wait, why did it heal when I blew away its ailment? Oh, I don't fucking know. Okay, so you resist solar, so you are a solar and not a lunar despite looking like every other lunar. Okay, look at maybe if we inflict enough ailments it won't be able to remove a poison. But I only really have a few to actually deal. I have, thank you. Okay, do these both count as physical because they have different icons? Does the range not count as physical? I don't know. Are you undead? Are you a rock? I don't know. Anyway, I have to cast it. Okay, our burning is going to be pretty... Yeah, let's try and do the healing blade. Our burning is going to wear off next turn anyway. So, it takes bonus damage from undead. How the fuck is that undead? It's a living statue. So stubborn as you are, Arjun. Thank you for giving us some information on the relationship between these characters. It's really weird how they barely talk, except that one scene. And we've only seen like the full design of one of them now in that one scene. Should we keep playing until we get enough ability acquiring scenes There's really nothing but gameplay here, and like little bits of flavor text. I'm dying for more of these little bits of flavor text. Give us more party chat because I have no idea what the story is. Wait, why did you take damage? Was that burning or poison? Usually games have like a poison icon pop up when you're taking poison damage, or it comes in a different color than regular damage. And it's so hard to keep up with what everything's going on because it goes so fast. Like, our passive effects on the enemy are going just as fast as the enemy's attacks on us. At least the music is cool. I gotta say, like, did Little Me have like a lot more patience for games that really test you and just don't have much substance? Because, yeah, I do remember I played like this for hours and hours and hours on that one day when I was too stressed to go to sleep the first one moved into my new house. So I guess in that sense, like, I was getting a positive impression of like a game which wastes the hell out of your time. That's what I needed in that particular moment. But looking back at it now, I'm not having as much of a positive impression. Wait, did multiple things disappear then? Going from what before, it seems the elemental looking people might be like a positive thing you gain a skill from, so we've saved and we'll talk to this one to find out. Okay, we shall see that at which dogs howl in the dark and that at which cats prick up their ears after midnight. I do not know what the fuck that means. All the others I had some idea. How is this a motivational thing? How is it a philosophical thing? Like, we will see a scary thing which animals find scary, which is not exactly a difficult thing to do. Animals can be scared of like a cucumber on the floor. Somehow we got maximum health from that. Maybe we should be remembering like which character means which thing. Like, fairies mean we gain spells, that whatever it was means we gain health, and the plant person gains us the gifts which are like equipable passive abilities. I've heard Lord Francisco make several comments on my outfit. He continuously insults my acid-resistant turtleneck, saying it is not tactical enough. See, from the start I felt like maybe this is a sign that Lord Francisco is in fact evil and he's negging her, but instead it's just a joke on like, you're telling me not to wear this fan service outfit because it's not tactical. Oh, actually there's a deep tactical reason behind it. It's acid-resistant. Why would you not have sleeves on an acid-resistant coat then? Why would you have a big hole like above your heart on an acid-resistant coat? Why wouldn't you have a face covering on an acid-resistant coat? What an arse, I got the second highest grade in our war tactics class, behind Argent. Okay, so you have a backstory, you're both childhood friends, I guess? And despite it before saying that you were like from non-combatant jobs, you were in fact trained in the military or something? But it's not even really a very fan-servicey outfit, so the joke doesn't even really land. All things considered, that's a relatively subdued, like more elegant type outfit. Am I just overanalyzing this joke? I don't really get it. I also didn't even catch what that gave us because I was so busy being confused. Fuck. This is just a room of like unlocking 1,000 different things by beating that difficult boss battle, which actually wasn't very difficult and was easier than the random sleep guy. Or in fact the first two battles we had. Life is obstinate and clings closest where it is most hated. The more people hate you, the more stronger you will get, which is like a motivational thing that people do say is like, whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger, but it doesn't really apply or actually be realistic in real life. In real life, being constantly hated can wear you down, and there's nothing weak from like reacting logically to the situation of the horrible stressful things that happen to you every day, and you may actually, you know, become weak from that and need to take a day off. Not everyone is magically strong enough that they'll just take all criticism and not feel anything from it, and I feel there is like a slight bit of heartlessness in society is how we kind of push that a lot, and it's like sort of like jumping like, oh, you're a special snowflake, oh, you're a weak, you're a wimp, how can you survive in society if you get upset about the situation where I am deliberately trying to upset you? But I don't know what this is applying to. I genuinely don't know what you're saying at any point, sir. I'm trying to gain something from this, guys. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. That was the first time one of these has actually been related to what we gain. We've gained some kind of skill, never fall, which means that we do actually get stronger the more we hate it, I guess. Maybe. Okay, so never fall raises your maximum HP and provides HP regeneration. I take back what I said about it fitting the context of the quote. And this fire person who, logically, it would seem like you are also one of the people who gives this because all the other ones have been elemental, but the game might trick you actually a boss battle? No, okay, now I've seen the final designs for all of them, okay. None of them look like they're stated, like, what they were supposed to be. You don't look like a detective, you look like a fancy person at a gala or something. Maybe these were some kind of default asset pack, and I just don't recognize it. The demons we are facing in Fort Adder are far more ferocious and terrifying than what we have seen before. They rival those in the grimoires at HQ, and as our fear grips hold of us, I've noticed our ability to fight diminishing. I haven't Also one is HQ, also one's the backstory for you. Why couldn't we have had an opening cutscene? Did all of you work together in some kind of like training you to be cool fighter people school? And then you're like the FBI? Okay, I've got the Indomitable Leona, whatever that means. Okay, it helps you resist solar damage. And you didn't get anything. Yeah, okay, we haven't, did we not? No, we had a scene from her and she didn't get anything. Her health is higher, so did she gain a stat boost instead? But that's also a really useful one. Okay, I should give it to someone else. I should give it to you because you don't really have many sanity attacks right now. And also you do have the healing though. Would it be bad with doubling up on the one who already has healing with more healing? I don't know. I'm gonna stop. This has been a really massive disappointment actually that the game isn't as enjoyable as I remembered it. And it's just really confusing. I do still like, again, the concept here. The concept of a game like everything is a difficult boss battle. But I forgot all the bad details in between. No direction whatsoever on where you're supposed to going or who you are or what is even an enemy as opposed to like a friendly NPC. No idea what strength an enemy has or what point in the story you're advised to fight it. No real encouragement to actually continue doing it because you don't know who you are or what you're doing. And just, yeah. Maybe I'll continue playing just to see if the ending was as bad as I remember. But I'll do it off screen and I'll do it after figuring out what the fuck this game is about. Let's go find a store page. Thank you, terrible Google AI, for giving a summary of an entirely different game which just happens to have some of the words in common as opposed to the one which is the 3 words I typed in. It would be genuinely funny if a skeleton ended the game of going to AA for help. Oh hey, wouldn't it be great if the game actually told us about this? Apparently keeping your sanity high means you take less damage, and the lower it is the more damage you take. I would not have been recklessly spending it all if I knew that. Also, weirdly enough, it says that you will waste a turn performing a crazed attack when it hits 0, but we hit 0 when it didn't happen to us. Okay, that's the reason why all the weird upgrade text doesn't make any sense. They're just quotes and references from various old literature, and I guess them being completely out of context means it makes sense so I would understand. Okay, we found the page describing the game. What is the description of the game? What a man does for pay is of little significance. What he is as a sensitive instrument responsive to the world's beauty is everything. The fuck does that mean again? Thankfully there is a 1 paragraph description underneath that. 3 exorcists are led by the skeletal Lord Francisco to his usurped home, the magnificent Fort Ada. Only by seeking out ancient spirits that offer unique gifts to the heroines can they hope to purge Francisco's fortress of the evil within. Okay, genuinely, sir, why could that have not been the opening cutscene? So our characters, they're from a HQ, a team of exorcists. The exorcists is what they are. That is what they are. That's what they are. That's what the reason is. And I don't know why we're saying that they're lawyers and stuff. Maybe there was a job before they're exorcists. Maybe they have 2 jobs. And I guess the skeleton was previously the lord of this, like, doom castle, and we're trying to take it back for him. Like, it sure sucks that we don't and he just dies in the end. Also, while looking this up on the TV Tropes page, it says that the reason why Lord Francisco is evil and why he dies in the end is because he caused the problems in his castle. He's actually a cursed human, which wasn't described in the description of the game. He used to be a human guy and he practiced evil human sacrifice, which caused his whole castle to turn into monsters. So it's his fault everything's happened and he actually is evil and he actually is manipulating you. And I don't remember that ever being said anywhere at all when I played the game as a kid. If I had seen that being said, I would not have been like, why the fuck are we all acting like he's evil suddenly for no reason? So, is that an optional missable thing? Did I miss a scene somewhere? Why was it not even in the description that, like, you are a human guy who was cursed into a skeleton and we are trying to uncurse him from being a skeleton? Like, you think that'd be more important than just, we're getting his house back? Like, if I'd gone in knowing that, I would be, like, curious. Like, how did he get cursed into a skeleton? Who did this? Ooh, maybe I'm going to be suspicious of him. Why did he get cursed into a skeleton? Is it going to be a reveal that, oh, it was in revenge for a bad thing he did? Like, these are little breadcrumbs you could throw to the player. You could have, like, equally as little amount of actual story going on. But if you have a starting setup and breadcrumbs, ideas, some kind of direction where the player's brain will go, then maybe they will, you know, think and figure out and be more inclined to understand these things when they come up later. Also, just would have been nice to spend, like, the very few bits of text in the game on actual moments of story as opposed to random quotes from random books. I'm kind of coming out of this phenomenally negative when I had positive memories of it, and that really sucks. It's a cool concept for a game. I just feel like fundamentally from head to toe, this kind of idea of like, oh, this is a game that won't hold your hand, has sabotaged it in every possible way. I've played many games on this marathon which have way too many tutorials and are bad because of that, but we have to acknowledge that the exact opposite is also kind of shit. Just give me one tutorial at the start, and then let me loose. That's all I ask, mate. Turns out there's actually a sequel, or I guess more like a spin-off. It takes place in the far, far distant sci-fi future, and it says you don't have to have played the first game to understand anything in this one. Is it okay to say that I don't personally find much interest in this? Because, well, it is just a totally different setting. This is just not personally the kind of thing I enjoy. And also it looks way less visually interesting because it seems to be entirely using default assets. Well, I guess it's like the sci-fi pack add-on for, I think, RPGmaker Fez, or one of those. I really did like the hand-drawn, unique character designs for the original. Not that games that use default RTP are bad, it's just a bit of a letdown when it started with one and changed to the other. It also just has a bit of an art inconsistency because, as you can see, all the backgrounds here seem to still be old fantasy style. As well as, the primary reason I would want to play a sequel is to find out what happens after that cliffhanger ending, as opposed to just massive flash forward, totally different people, totally different story, entirely different genre of game. But it seems that everything about the good gameplay style and, everything in that is still going to be there. So if you personally were watching this Let's Play and thinking oh, I really like this gameplay style, but this story isn't my kind of thing, and you do like sci-fi, then go ahead and check this out. If you are curious, you download this yourself! And on that note, I'll go to bed. And then I didn't go to sleep, I went and I played the whole game off screen. Here are my comments and screenshots of stuff along the way. This is actually going to be delivered kind of out of order, because I originally started recording the final boss battle started, and I was having my emotional reaction, this is exactly why it sucks, and then I just spent 2 hours on the same boss fight, and I said a lot of things in my sheer boredom, and it just makes more sense to cut out all the shit in between and organise it in a way that's more entertaining for the audience. So, section 1, screenshots and stuff from my playthrough before this final boss battle. Random gay representation in the doomed, already dead to begin with son. At the beginning I was like, okay, maybe he is an arsehole, he's making stupid jokes about his son finding someone to bone with, and then he immediately goes oh my god, no, yeah, I'm going to hell for my jokes, I can't stop doing this, I'm just so traumatized and it's my only way of coping. After that, he says, I can't stand here and be part of it, watching you kill my son and his lover, but I know it has to be done. And he leaves, he leaves he's not mission control at all for this fight. I suppose you could say maybe he's supposed to be bad that he's not helping you anymore, but he's not helping you because he's fucking traumatized. He's I don't know what to do, I can't give you advice how to murder my son and his boyfriend who I never even knew existed until this moment. And just... how does this be reconciled with the idea that he purposefully killed his son and he doesn't give a shit? How does any of this make any sense? If he was faking caring about it, why would he fake caring about it in this particular way? Why would he fake, having a weird, bad emotional reaction and not saying the perfect thing at first? Is he some 4D chess super manipulator? More of this later in the video, but when the final boss usurps Francisco's spot as protagonist, if you've left certain battles unfinished, you can go back and refight them and have unique dialogue from her. Here's a snippet of that and why it's shit. On the one hand, outright confirms that yes, the son is gay and that is his husband, whereas when Francisco says it, it's a bit more euphemistic. But she's also just so, the angel's got my son. He has a husband. Kill him. As opposed to, how emotional it was with Francisco. This line, again, there's so many times when you think, his jokes is gonna be him being bad, and then it immediately subverts it and it shows him, being regretful and sad. Oh, those spectres are just the obnoxious kitchen brats. Immediately, has sad face, and it's if only the Hellmites left me alone, they wouldn't have had to die, and it's he can't go a single battle, he makes a joke about every enemy, and then expresses how sad he is, and how he doesn't really mean it. Every time. Here we have the line. By this, of course, he means that his wife and son didn't leave him, he killed them, and he does not survive by puns. literally all the character development we got from him throughout the game means nothing. I was really invested in the idea of this regretful guy who made some kind of not explained yet messed up mistake. He sought too hard for power, he didn't think enough for the people who cared for him, and now he regrets it and he wants to make things right, and his motivation for killing all these monsters is to literally save their souls and to like put it all to rest and to defeat whoever's at the centre of it. How I assumed before was going to be like the demon or the angel that he had made this flawed contract with, who had manipulated him into it or something, but no, it's just, hi, I'm your wife, you killed us all on purpose to gain power. And I guess what was his motivation to go back into the house that's full of all the people who hate him and are vengeful for him, not even fight them himself, but to get 3 random ladies to fight them? I guess to manipulate us into killing his wife so he would get the more power than he already had? I don't know. Anyway, on the positive side, I did really like this Jester boss battle. There are some genuinely good boss battles. It's just very rare. The majority of them are, unfortunately, just like really long grind fests, or you can't do this unless you happen to have the right skill. This guy was really interesting. He's immune to literally every form of damage, except if you inflict madness on him and he hits himself. And I thought that was really thematically good for being like a crazy Jester, because he uses madness on you all the time. And again, to be fair, if I hadn't have already had madness before I come here, I would have literally been unable to fight, and that would have really sucked. I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But coming in there knowing and being prepared and feeling rewarded for finding the madness somewhere else, it's just really cool. It's cool to see like all the different waves he brings out. He summons 3 puppets and they can all do madness attacks and do all this stuff, and I'm just no-selling all of it by casting madness on him so he fucks up his own attacks, and it was great and it was satisfying, and I sure wish the final boss was like that. Another example of how the game doesn't really work as intended is you can come in and you can have like a different ability from another boss that you've beaten in the wrong order that destroys the intended strategy. This one here, you were supposed to be dispelling never fall status off this enemy, but I came in and I just had like abilities that could deal enough damage that could outpace his healing anyway. He never got to the countdown of like, oh, after now I'll use a big attack, because I just kicked his ass, and it was so funny to see him literally dying at the moment where this phase was supposed to start, and Lord Francisco is telling me. Oh, and this is a random monster design I really liked. It gives me Dr. Snap vibes. Top 10 moments to make me trust this guy. He appreciates good scrungly monster designs. In Westford, this is probably meant to be foreshadowing he's evil because he thinks funny looking things are cool. Whatever. I would hug the flying leech mouth. I would hug the second flying leech mouth. This was another one I beat by just not having the strat. Apparently the way you do it is there is one ability which gives you a negative buff to yourself. This enemy cannot have debuffs or statuses or ailments cast on itself. It can only like eat ones that you have, but it doesn't cast any ailments. So the only way to cast an ailment on you is if you have some kind of ability which can cast a negative ailment on you. And throughout the entirety of the game, I did not find a single one of those, so I think I must have just not found this one somewhere in the map. I tried to scour the entirety of the map. Like, I'm only at this final boss after, as far as I know, scouring every single corner and fighting every single enemy, but I appear to have missed someone who had the one ability you were supposed to beat this guy with, so instead I just outpaced it with, like, buffing my HP enough before the battle started, not an actual buff, like, just equipping every item which had the maximum HP so I could survive its one attack is supposed to kill you in one attack if you don't cast enchantments. That's why it's so tricky, is you're supposed to cast buffs to survive the attack, but if you survive the attack, it eats your buffs and it becomes stronger. So I just came in with like the maximum amount of HP so I could survive one attack without a single buff on me, and I outpowered it because it has no form of healing or anything. And I was like, oh, one character left with like 100 HP, and I was like, yeah! It felt satisfying to beat the game's cruel unfairness in my own way. Oh, by the way, game-breaking error. This particular enemy, the traitor on the throne or something, whatever he's called, if you cast this ability perfect aim on him, the game just fully crashes. That's also one part. A good thing about the game is, if you lose in a battle, you just instantly respawn at the start of the room you were in. You don't get a game over, and that's really good in a situation like this, where every battle is super, super difficult, and you're expected to just be dying over and over again. It's good that you don't lose a huge amount of progress. Unless you get this one particular game-breaking glitch and you lose a whole load of progress. So I was still saving after every battle because of that. Oh, another random glitch is after some battles, for some reason the screen will be tinted slightly darker, and it doesn't seem to go away until you walk away to certain other screens. The first time it happened, it stopped when I moved out to another screen, but this one, when I moved downwards to the screen, it stayed, and then when I moved upwards to it, so I think it must be like when you cross a barrier from like one environment to another. Oh, how repentant I am! How repentant I am, talking about how I've returned, I know my crimes, I'm here to atone for them. He's saying it like he regrets it and like he's done a bad action but he's trying to make it right as opposed to just confessing I'm the evil bad. It's weird. It's weird. You think he's like a complex anti-hero or a repentant villain, but no, the answer is just he's a villain. And that's what I mean by the map sucking is there's no way to get to this other side unless you literally go back out to the previous biome, walk all the way around the house until you get to the other side and enter from here. This biome has like 2 entire segregated seconds they can only reach from separate biomes. You can't just in any way cross this road. Hello, welcome, the one piece of dialogue. This particular random plant lady in this corner, which I apparently missed the first time, bit by bit it dawned on us that Francisco was not all that he seemed, and it was possible that he fully deserved the curse cast upon him. Still, we have a job to exterminate the evil, therefore that's the reason we still work for him, even though we know he's evil now. If he wanted this to be generally what happens, make it a non-missable dialogue, and also put in any kind of actual foreshadowing in moments where he did, realise he was evil. Like, you don't even know about these characters. The only dialogue they ever get is his skill level ups. I barely know who they are, or care. That's why it sucks that the one character we do, in-depth know about him, and seemingly all these things about his personality development, which are apparently false anyway. It's just... Congratulations, the end. You're stuck with the 3 characters with barely any personality who you barely know, and a new person who you definitely don't know, and the one guy you got attached to was a fuckhead all along. I hate to fight my subjects, but I love to fight my subjects, I'm just lying. Technically, 2 pieces of dialogue that foreshadow him being secretly evil. The second one is in the optional boss fight against fucking Dante from Devil May Cry, of all places. This comedy boss fight, if you spend long enough in it, he outright just comes out and says that he sacrificed people to death and he's actually evil. So again, it contrasts with literally everything else we've seen of him, and if you hadn't have seen this one piece of dialogue, you would have had no foreshadowing, and like me, you would have got to the ending and been like, that came the fuck out of nowhere, I just feel sad that I trusted a guy who was apparently a manipulative bastard. It doesn't feel like he's a good manipulative bastard. It doesn't feel like a story well written. Like, to give an example, the game 999, that game also made me really pissed off because the character I trusted ended up being the secret villain. That gave me a big emotional reaction, but in a good way. I felt powered up to fight this guy off because everything about it made sense once they had the reveal. You could go back and you can see the foreshadowing, and the story continued after the reveal. You actually went on and you saw him being the villain. You saw how all the things he did were false. You saw the ways he'd set you up. He became like a massive threat, and like you worked out how to take him down. It became so satisfying to finally kick his ass after all he'd done that destroyed you and all he'd done that betrayed you, as opposed to just last 5 minutes, guy you thought was nice the entire time is actually a fuckhead. The game is over. Someone else kills him off screen, and you just go with someone else now. Okay. Yeah, this is what I mean about just lore randomly dropped and I have no idea what the fuck is going on. We've never been introduced to what the Hellenites are. We don't even know what the Etivis is. There are 5 different factions and all of them could be the villain behind this. Compared to this, having two potential lines of dialogue, one being an optional hidden boss fight, the other being an out-of-the-way, hard-to-find corner of a random map. That's the only evidence for Lord Francisco being the real villain, as opposed to every fucking save point everywhere is saying, what if the Hellenites were evil? What if the angels were evil? What if the Hellenites and the angels were working together? Ooh! It's such a letdown. We never get to fucking meet the Hellenites or learn a fucking thing about them. Also, this is the only reference in the entire game that I actually got. It's to Summer Wars. That's a really good movie. King Kazuma is fucking badass. And here is the actual text of the final boss fight, cutscene. This is slipped together throughout the entire thing. Just imagine between every single line is 45 minutes of me dying over and over to get back to where I was to see the next one. But it's organised for more coherence here. You can fully see just how shit this is from a story perspective. Oh dear, this is my wife, Delilah. Welcome home, Luke. It's been a while. Come on, honey, why can't we talk this out? What happened? I didn't catch it, but she says shut the fuck up, and that is the one swear word in the game, and apparently the reason it got an NC-17 rating. What? Hey, he won't be bothering us. The man apparently dies in between these 2 sentences. Yeah, now it's just this lady's let's chat. You see, the angels came to close the gate. It was interfering with their plans. Obviously, they performed a curse, except for on me. Let me be blunt, I'm an angel of chaos now. Let's make a deal. You beat me, I'll close the gate. If I win, well, I have a garden to tend to, full of mortal corpses. A rose bush would be quite nice. It's time to be planted, little roses. Okay, very well, you've helped me get rid of my obnoxious twit of a husband. You've demonstrated your strength. For Gehenna Gate is up ahead. Let's go close it and break off the final thorn. For deed is done. Gehenna no longer threatens Fort Ada. A shame really, it could stand to be razed to the ground. I am surprised and impressed by your strength, my sweet roses. Do not underestimate my respect. Still, you must be wondering why I helped you after being hired by love. I am an angel of chaos, my dears. I am the essence of chaos. There's absolutely nothing that you should fear more. And here is all my actual playthrough in between, with the chunks cut out of boring gameplay and just like my emotional reactions, my thoughts on this, my analysis. And at the very end we'll have a more organised set of my ideas of what I would do to fix this. Okay, we're here at the final battle, and I just started it and I realised I have to record this because I got such hit of a wave of nostalgia with the song in this. Is fucking amazing. Witness the sheer emotion of this song and how tough the battle is and how it feels like you're earning absolutely nothing except just your best friend, this cool skeleton man, was apparently evil all along. Fuck him. He's dead. We just all suddenly believe the villain that he's bad and we join her and that's the end. Well, the greatest song in the world plays like it's supposed to be empowering somehow. Also, she looks absolutely nothing on her overworld like she does in the battle. The beat's gonna drop. That's all I gotta say.
In the sea of night where my soul is real, broken visions let the darkness heal, and the dream of life will surely reside. I can hear your heart, I can touch your skin, feel the whole world breathing from within. I can live it here forever inside. In the sea of night where my soul is real, broken visions let the darkness heal, and the dream of life will surely reside. I can hear your heart, I can touch your skin, feel the whole world breathing from within. I can live it here forever inside. Just to everything I know, I need this love. Just to the only place where reality
I'm really getting blended with just exactly how much emotion I felt when I first played this. This song, this reveal, you think the story is going to go. Every single thing to the moment has been this tragic, sad story, this fucking repentant skeleton man. Like, I've gone through, there's precisely one line of dialogue that implies he's evil, and everything else is like him being repentant for what he's done. Like, so much fucking development he's gone through, and how he wants to make everything right, and how sad he was he had to, like, put down his son, who's like, everyone who's been cursed except him has lost their mind and he can't do anything except just try and get through and stop us all, and 10 billion bazillion lines of him just having really endearing dialogue in battles, and also him being really emotional about what's happening. The only evidence that's supported for is the idea that, like, this guy has done something bad in the past and is now repenting for it and trying to make up better for it. There was no evidence for he doesn't really care. When you see this line, you think what you're getting is like a really good, really dramatic, really powerful, and especially with this fucking song. Its song sounds like the tragedy of, like, having to fight your wife to the death and you don't want to. Instead of a tragic cry over trying to save his wife in his car, instead what you get is just, I'm his wife, he was evil the whole time, join with me and fucking kill him. Then you do, and there's no possible way of stopping it. There's no choice. That's just the end. And why is that happening with the most emotional song in the world playing? There's no emotions from that. That's just, oh, triumphant, we found the real villain, he's dead. Nothing seems to match. I'm getting genuinely worked up and just, I'm really reliving, like, the exact emotional reaction I had on playing it. I had gotten so invested, and the fact that this is a very difficult game, and it's like around 6 or 7 hours, quite long, and all you're doing is just purely gameplay, getting really invested, and like, then it's just genuinely nothing you did mattered, and you should have just not taken the job, and just, like, left him in the dirt. What was the point of any of this game? This fucking song is, like, titanically good. This deserved to be an emotional boss battle. Oh, oof. God, I've forgotten what my strategy was going. I've gotten so distracted. I swear when sleep hits, it's actually like the peak strategy. Sleep or madness is, like, so good because it stops enemies from attacking for a turn. Like, you get so overwhelmed. Enemies have like 500 different attacks. Being able to even sleep for like one turn is gonna save me here. God, and how emotional is, like, once you get to the different peaks, again, she looks different in every possible image of her, but like, once you get to the different peaks of her HP, and she summons more allies, and it gets harder while this great song plays, and this emotional thing, and it's like, finally revealing the backstory, and then the backstory is the worst possible thing imaginable. He's just an arsehole, and you shouldn't have helped him, and the whole game was pointless. I am filled with mighty ferocity, thank you. When I played this before I started recording, I got sleep on the first hit, and now the game is just spiting me. It's going to make this an even longer and even more annoying boss battle. Get those buffs off. Get those buffs off. Fuck right off. It's weird of having really shit luck with the ailments, even though I've got luck up on everyone. Oh great, madness everything, thank you. Yeah, genuinely, what happened? I like to know too, actually, but I know what the answer already is just going to be, like, everything you ever said was a lie, Mr. Skeleton Man, according to this lady we've never met before, as opposed to you who we spent the whole time. But, you know, one of the characters just said, in a random battle off in a corner, oh, I think I suspect him, so it was technically foreshadowed. I remember this as being a fun game of going through different boss battles and about how your setups really matter. It really isn't. It's more like, run around a massive confusing as fuck map to find the one guy who has the one ability that is the only thing to defeat this other guy. They don't even, like, segregate enemies off by any logical place. It's not like here's the high level area, here's the low level area. It's just, in every area there'll be one guy that you can defeat at, like, base level, and everyone else will kick your ass immediately. You have to run around the entire map and defeat all these low level guys to get back to the first area and fight, like, the second guy. I spent the entire game not being able to defeat the three random, it's like Lady Red, Lady Blue, whatever, it's just some random characters who, like, mirror you and have similar attributes. That was the hardest boss ever because it was physically impossible to do that until you got the one most important power-up you get from murdering his gay son and his husband. You get the most important power-up in the game where you get more extra energy every turn. Like, his first reaction to seeing, like, his son has a boyfriend is like, pleasant surprise at first, he makes a stupid pun about it, and then he's like, oh god, I realise he's not there anymore, he's not himself, I'm gonna have to fucking murder him. This is like the first and last time I'll ever be able to even say, like, congratulations on finding the one you love. Well, I wasn't there to see it. Well, my whole fucking family has died, and I'm dead too, and I'm, for some reason, the only one who gets to, you know, sit here and suffer in my guilt and be, like, fully alive. Everyone else is just insane. Except my wife, apparently. She's fully sane, and she has an entirely different idea of what the plot is, which is now going to tell everybody. It's one of those things where just the twist feels like there was no foreshadowing at all. Nothing the game does makes any sense in light of the twist. Oh wait, I forgot that takes sleep off. I keep forgetting which moves do and don't take sleep off. I should have spent that turn getting rid of a solar avatar. I do like how its wings are randomly made of fiberglass hair. You shut the fuck up! I hate this lady more than any other character in any other RPGmaker game. She literally just walks the fuck out of nowhere and says everything you knew about the game is wrong, and she's such an asshole too. Generally, why do any of these characters believe it? Compared to that, we have the character we've spent the entire game with, who's the entire point of the game has been hearing endearing dialogue from him in every battle. He's a fucking arse, as told you by the least trustworthy lady you've ever seen. Go to sleep, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't think she actually does stop talking if you get rid of her, but yeah. Okay, I guess Solar is useless in this battle. I guess it makes sense, like, the entire rest of the game, Solar was, like, peak and useful on everyone. I should just restart this battle, I fucked it up. Random thing I noticed, if you quit this battle, all of her avatars spawn at once on top of each other, some sort of weird glitch. That was funny. God, this song sounds like a fucking love anthem from a wife to a husband. It would be so emotional if this was just having to fight your wife who you love. Sorry, I can't stop complaining. Hey, he won't be bothering us. Is this the moment where she literally just kills him off screen? Like, he doesn't even get to say anything about it. I could have sworn he at least got one more line of dialogue. Yeah, now it's just this lady's let's chat, and she just tells you. You don't even get like an animation, you don't get a cutscene of him dying. Just mid-sentence, he's died. Join me, and ignore the fact I've been trying to kill you this whole time. You see, the angels came to close the gate. He was the one who opened the gate because he did a bad thing and he sacrificed us all. Which I'm telling you after he's dead, and you just believe me because he's not even here to defend himself anymore. You see how fundamentally unbelievable this is as a genuine twist. Like, I just thought she was supposed to be lying. Oh, it was interfering with their plans. So they were also planning an evil bad thing, I guess. Everyone was evil, everyone was all together and they were all evil against each other. Obviously they performed a curse, except for on me. Let me be blunt, I'm an angel of chaos now. With terribly edited eyes. Oh, I'm gonna lose this again. I found literally every boss, I got every ability I had. Let's make a deal, blah blah blah, join me. You know, whenever I played this, I thought maybe if you defeat her fast enough before he dies, you get a better ending. You don't, this is the only ending you get. God, if sleep could work even once, please. We don't even have our solar one together with these lunar avatars, we're just gonna die. Yeah, we're dealing so little damage because we've got no fucking sanity left. Okay, restart this shit again, I guess. I don't think there really is actually a different setup I could use to win this, because she is just like, we summon everyone who has every ability everywhere forever. When I played this as a teenager, I had like the energy to try. I actually cared, I was interested, I thought there would be some kind of reward. Now I know it's terrible. I don't really care enough to try. Like, it's just really demotivating. It'd be really funny if I could keep her sleeping around the entire battle and just beat the shit out of it and not even let it get a goddamn monologue. But I don't think the RNGers can be that kind to me. Yeah. Maybe if I had the one on her that gets powered up of how many ailments the enemy has. But then again, she's not going to be the one that's effective. We saw that Solar wasn't the most effective. When we have that equivalent, but it's the most ailments you can put on yourself, powers it up, and it seemed like even at maximum wasn't dealing very much. Oh shit, I misclicked again. See, me being pissed off is generally making me a worse gamer. Fucking waste the whole turn. God, even I'm trying my best and I still can't fucking outpace them. And there we go. I think I'll just look up a fucking guide. Fuck this. I don't care. I don't care enough to try. I do care enough to try. Fuck it. I'll fiddle around with all these things. See, that's not good because I don't even know which one she's using every turn. They both just used every turn. Boosting sanity generation, but it reduces the damage you deal. Maybe if we swap sleep for madness. We'll give you sleep instead of poison. If we have 2 people going off at once, we'll have more of a fucking chance. If we could get madness, they'll potentially attack her. There's no point casting madness when it's only her in the battle because then she just attack herself and she take the madness off. Blind, she heals for fucking everything every turn. Fucking hell. Can we even get enough ailments to actually get anything from that? I'm never gonna have enough to be able to use bloody High Tide. Oh. High Tide only lasts 1 turn and it makes your Luna go up. And I said I don't have to. If I could put that on, maybe if I put on someone else. Because I don't have 2 people to use Luna. If everything only lasts 1 fucking turn on her. Fucking Christ. See, yeah, what I had before was the best, I guess. Yeah, I can't fucking do this. I run out of so much sanity and the attack gets lower fucking sanity and I haven't got the precise exact skill loadout I'm supposed to have for this. Go insane, go insane, go insane, go insane, fuck. Sleep, 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 fuck. Da 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 da. Maybe if I go for the gifts, I don't have the best ability to have the best stat. If I can increase everyone's fucking whatever one of these stats increases your odds of ailments, I don't even know. See, I feel like Radiant and Necrotic Aura would help, but I don't know what damage any of them are dealing. Like, you can't even fucking tell what ailment anyone is. And she was dealing like, here's fire damage and like, here's water damage. What is water? Is water Luna? I don't know. And these ones that increase or decrease your chance of targeting a certain enemy won't work because all their moves will fucking multi-hit. We've got to cover for everyone, like we need to have something to keep us boosted. This is the only way to boost up our fucking sanity generation. And it reduces your damage. How are you meant to outpace her? She fucking removes like... It takes up all of her points to cast a buff on everybody and they can all just be gone in 1 turn. I know it's supposed to be a puzzle, I know it's supposed to be an answer, I just haven't hit on it. But I'm just so impatient, I can't be bothered to run on in time. I have to find the 1 person I've missed somewhere. God, we haven't even... Before we had her at like half, I'm getting worse every time. Literally the first setup I had was the best. For reference, it's now an hour mark of me trying this 1 fucking boss battle. Okay, that was really... It is. So we just have to really focus on raising our sanity and nothing else. It's working better than the buffs. And as soon as I say that, she's just taken all the buffs off and shoved madness on us. Thank you, thank you. I've been playing so long, it's starting to get keyboard lag. Yeah, we're dealing massive amounts of damage at 150 sanity. I didn't even know it could go over a fucking 100. I should have paid more attention. But then again, it's not exactly intuitive and the game never tells you. There really should be more tutorials for literally anything. Also, for some reason, she's not casting any more of her allies. I guess she takes longer to cast if we dispel the first one fast enough. Okay, that was... So, literally we just needed this 1 skill is going to deal like disproportionately huge damage to her compared to the other fucking skill. The other fucking skill, which deals damage based on how many buffs you have. I have literally the same amount of buffs and it wasn't dealing that much on her. They don't describe how much damage a skill does in the description. They don't describe the formulas in any way. Like, it took me a while to even realize that the Crepify deals like twice as much damage as the base one, which you don't have here anymore, and stuff like that. Like, if it just said like deals medium damage, deals more damage, like generally how could you assume that like the lunar and solar equivalents of the same attack which work on like the buffs or debuffs would not have the equal amount? They cost the fucking same too. I guess just when she was casting that buff thing, that was why she wasn't taking solar. I was just misled by that. Okay, I guess just fucking do that again. Wait, now I'm not even gonna see the rest of her cutscene. Okay, I guess we're just gonna sit here and wait and see the rest of the cutscene if it still plays out when she's not even here. Yeah, it just plays out when the rest of it not. Okay. This is a fitting end to the fucking thing. I take back everything I said. It's not good to have puzzle battles where it's literally just 1 skill will beat literally everything. Especially if it's not intuitive in any way which skill that is. Like, I had that skill in my lineup for a while. I didn't know that I should have picked that one as opposed to the lunar version of it. It really is just right to the end. Solar is better than lunar in every way. 90% of enemies are weak to solar, including the fucking final boss. And that's why the angel thing was casting the boost solar on. I was just thinking she was resistant to solar. She was casting the buff on him. It's so hard to keep track of everything when the enemy moves so fast. Anyway, fuck off, bitch. Okay, that wasn't even my strongest attack. What am I doing? I can't get complacent. I just gotta try and scratch this long until I can see the rest of the fucking cutscene. And she was on such fucking low sanity and she still dealt more damage. Yeah, I'm getting fucking input lag from how long I've been in this one battle. Come on. Literally shaking my keyboard. Let's put this up. Let's put a sanity up on everybody. What if I can end this with like dealing the most massive attack ever? Just fucking spike the game. I know this game is sapping my sanity in real life. Okay, I maxed out at 200. Let's get 200 in everyone, right? I think I edited together all the bits of the actual dialogue, but just know it's taken me this long to even get past this line. And it's happening with her not even here. You beat me, I'll close the gate. Why are you even fighting as if your husband is evil and you've already killed him? Who fucking cares? If I win, well, I'll rule the world like a big evil fuck, I guess, which is somehow better than him ruling the world like a big evil fuck. I don't even know if that's what he's supposed to be doing. Oh, I haven't even fucking got the end of her cutscene. And he just fucking dies. Very well, you've helped me get rid of my obnoxious Twitter. I didn't even get to see the fucking end of your cutscene. Have to go and find that shit again. Oh, I'm so sick of this. Very well, you've helped me get rid of my obnoxious Twitter for husband. You've demonstrated your strength. The Gehenna Gate is up ahead. Let's go close it and break off the final thorn. Whatever the fuck you're supposed to say. And now you've changed her name flavor. Apparently you get a bonus if you manage to somehow beat her without beating all of the other enemies around the place. Then if you go and fight them, you get unique dialogue of her as your navigator instead. I don't even know where I'm supposed to be going. She said it's up ahead, but it's like, it's not. There is no way to go from here. Do I have to run around the whole fucking castle again? There are no guides for this game. Also noticing I didn't even gain any abilities from that fight or anything. Congratulations, guess who ran around the entire fucking town? These are passable. This is a walkable floor. Would you have guessed? Would you have guessed? Wasting my fucking time again. Did I save? I didn't save it. I didn't save. I'll save here. Yeah, okay. I can load back and finish the rest of the fucking dialogue. It's not dealing as much this time. I don't know why. Why is it not dealing as much as it did before? What did I do to get that? What cataclysm of things did I do to get that? Like, look how many that is. That's like 1, 2, 3. That is 6. It has to be like 7 is enough to get to that peak. I got all the buffs on her and I've got, But if I get all that and I also get a critical? It's time to be planted, little roses. Okay, we're getting more dialogue. Why are you even fighting us if you want to join us for no apparent reason? And you just fucking hate your husband. It hasn't even said now that the husband is actually bad. It's just been like, join me for no real reason. I've killed him for no real reason. And we're all just fucking fine with that? Are we even gonna get to the point of like, oh, he was bad all along? Did I just imagine that because it made more sense? Yeah, we literally can't, it's out healing us. We can't fight because we've lost the one who can stop the healing. And we're also not getting any new dialogue, so maybe that was the end. I hope so, because I can fucking stop this. I'm done. Let's go back and see the ending of this shit. That is the end of it. It doesn't even say he was evil all along. Why are we joining this random fucking lady? It's just, that's not even the right game, sorry. I got so pissed off I almost played a better game. So that is the entirety of the dialogue. It's just, hi, I'm his wife, and I'm evil all along for some reason. Come and join me for no reason. We all just say yes for no reason, and he's not even bad. He gets killed mid-sentence. Just joined his murderer to go and to do something or other. With the angels, she sided with the angels of chaos, whatever that means. The deed is done. Gehenna no longer threatens Fort Ada. We didn't even fucking know what Gehenna is anyway. We got the demons, we got the angels, we got the Hellenics and the Phaons and whoever the fuck any of this is. A shame really could stand to be razed to the ground. Why do you hate your husband? I'm surprised and impressed by your strength, my sweet roses. Do not underestimate my respect. Still, you must be wondering why I helped you after being hired by Lord. No, I'm wondering why do you hate Lord Francisco and what the fuck is the point of it? And why did you call him Luke when his name is Francisco? Is Francisco his surname? Does it mean that you're also Lady Francisco? I am an angel of chaos, my dears. I am the essence of chaos, which means I can just do random stupid evil shit with no motivation and no logic. And look how bad the shading is around her. elbows. What the hell is going on with that? Did, like, the person who made this, like, recolor it at the last minute? It was like, did someone else color it? Why is it the only party image that's like that? Did they just really decide they want to change the colour of his sleeves? There's absolutely nothing that you should fear more. Hey, join me! I'm a fucking bastard! That's the end! That's it, that's all you get! Spend the entire game getting to know this complex, multi-layered man who has done some kind of bad thing in the past but regrets it and wants to fix it, and clearly loves his wife and son. So what even was the foreshadowing? He might have been bad, and we've just suspected him and he might be bad, I guess. But then they don't say it when they go into the battle. It's not like we're fine with him dying because we've decided that he's evil, and it's let's go join his murderer for no particular reason. To destroy the demons and join the angels and become the big evil because reasons, and I don't know. I'm honestly surprised that the game was even worse than I remembered, like far, far, far worse than I remembered. Like, I was remembering this positively as a game where the only bad point was the ending, and instead I've just... At least when I was a kid I didn't realise that was like the prince's gay lover. At least now I know there were gay characters in this hot mess, and that is one thing I can take away from me. I'm just really demotivated and sad, and that final boss battle music was really good and should have been a different emotional beat in the story. Fuck all this, I shouldn't have stayed up, but even we're now almost 2 hours of that one battle. 2 hours of that one battle. I still have no idea why I hit really hard that one time. Fuck everything, bye. A bit more extra info and stuff I found while looking through the files. The reason I can do this is because the original download of the game that I had is now gone. RPGmaker.net, the whole website is now down. So the only source I could find for actually downloading the game is, of all places, a Steam Workshop entry. Like, if you go onto the RPGmaker VX8 like engine page, the community tab, someone has just uploaded the entire game there, in the place where like tile sets and stuff are supposed to go. And I don't know if this is the original creator or not, because it's someone called Steven98, and I don't know if that's an alternate username for Crazetex. But if this is someone who uploaded it without permission, that's a bit of a shame, because this is the full editable file. Like, it's not just the game, this is the whole project, and that's why I'm having an interesting thing today. I'm going to explore the project and see things inside it that I haven't been able to do with any other game. It's interesting, it's fun, but also, if someone did this without permission, the original author, that's a bit mean. You shouldn't be sharing this stuff around. But also, I'm grateful you did. Thanks for breaking the rules, you arsehole! First little thing, I seem to have found the cause of that tint screen bug. Certain screens have like a fixed parallel process event that automatically plays to tint the screen to be a certain atmosphere, but sometimes it seems when it happens in battle it doesn't turn off and it stays on the overworld afterwards, and then when you manage to walk into another screen which has this tint screen event on it, then it'll reset and it knows what to do again. So that's why it was only changing back when I was going into certain rooms. Looking through everywhere to try and find what on earth boss or pickup I might have missed. It might be this one here in a laboratory area, which you can only see from being in like the bug flesh area, but you'd have to get to that somewhere from the laboratory. I think that might be a good candidate for the one I might have missed. Interesting little quirk is the way that the game handles it to have your protagonist be Lord Francisco on the overworld, but he's not in fights, is Argent's class graphic is just him on the overworld. Like, technically according to the game, Argent looks like that. And all the other characters have no overworld sprite, so that's how it ends up defaulting to showing him. I guess if they gave him an actual entry, he would have appeared in battles. So that's a good way of working around it. This ability is the only one in the list I could find which I didn't actually get, so I think this might have been the one I missed. Being able to inflict poison on everyone, being able to inflict like any status on everyone would have been so fucking useful. That would have been really helpful in the final fight. But it seems possible that skill does not actually exist, because when you go over and see in the armor section, all the skill gain items are here, and Noxious Poison, the skill we just saw, has an XXX in front of it, and the only other one with an XXX in front of it is one we definitely know isn't in the game, called Vigor. It seems to be the equivalent to like Serenity, but for recovering HP whenever you hit instead. That seems like it would be very overpowered, and it was removed for a rightful reason. But that one doesn't remain over here in the actual list of skills, whereas Noxious Poison does, so I'm not sure. Maybe it was there and I missed it, maybe it is just out, but I did go through every single skill and item. I couldn't find a single one which says it inflicts a negative status on the user. Either that guide on TV Tropes was just wrong, or there is one move which does that, but it doesn't say in the description. It was just really non-indicative. It wouldn't make sense if it didn't exist, because otherwise there is no way to beat that worm guy, unless you just did what I did and just basically just played luck with hoping he doesn't one-hit you every turn. There are also no monsters in the list that I didn't actually fight. So that's what led me to believe it might be that one pickup which you don't actually have to have a fight to get to. Another thing I found mildly interesting is that there are actually 2 ability categories, abilities and links, and it seems links are never actually used in the game. I'm not sure what that was planned to be. Also, the categories for equipables are called spells and augments, while in the final game it's spells and gifts. A random little quirk of how all the skill pickups are default RPGmaker VXA's characters is there are some in the files that are never actually used. Out of all these characters, we never get a pickup from this cool grandpa, and that is a crime. They've also got all these sprites for the enemies, and like, why didn't you use the literal werewolf for the literal werewolf enemies? Also, the artwork for the characters is done by Evening Prayer. I tried searching that up, and I tried reverse image searching all the images. I can't find any source on that person, or any mention of them anywhere on the internet except in this particular thread. But the person Sakura who made the enemy graphics, I did look more into that. That seems to be actually lud.sakura.jp, which is also called Mazaran and also called Cradle of Cyanide, depending on the places, and Magellan apparently. All those websites are now down. And it turns out that this is the same person who made the art pack that's used for Dragon Island Blue. My friend Abby knows that game. That infamous game which had these really fucking rad and cool monster designs, but used them for a commercial product without permission. These are specifically, they were made and they weren't allowed to be used in commercial products. Because obviously it would suck to make profit off a free asset pack that you didn't pay for. And that's the reason why the site got completely taken down. They do have a new site now, which is what the Cradle of Chaos one is. But it seems none of their previous packs are ever available here anymore, and it's just like personal artwork and stuff. All the Toho characters reinterpreted as Shin Megami Tensei monsters. It's totally wild that I didn't recognise any of the actual sprites in the game as being by them, because they're a very different style. It seems they might be like way earlier than the SMT-inspired ones that ended up being used in the majority of games. Cool to see how their art style evolved, and like both styles are equally awesome. Oh, also, there's literally a text file in the game called Pretentious Quotes. Even the writer knows that these are just weird and out of place. I wasn't just being mean by saying that. Thank you for the validation. I do have to say, I don't know why you did it if even you think there's not much point to the quotes. Also extremely weird how the game has an NC-17 warning, and I genuinely do not know why. There is nothing inappropriate for teens in this game. Like, it just says, contains some strong language and references alcohol, and what grotesque, having slightly scary monsters makes it M-rated now. There is, like, no sexually explicit anything. I didn't even fucking notice any strong language. They didn't say a single fuck in the game. If they did, it was very hidden. So I do feel like the author, you maybe overshot it a bit. I would have said, like, teen at most, this is, like 14-year-olds or something. We also have a date when it first came out was 2012. In the files, there's a first chapter of Call of Cthulhu being read out by a dramatic narrator, and I thought this wasn't used anywhere in the game, but then I realised it. It's used in the screen just before the final boss. The ominous droning sounds you hear are just they played this random audiobook at a really, really, really slow speed to make it sound really ominous. And that's a cool way of using assets. Here are also all the individual credits for all of the songs. And over half of them were gotten from Newgrounds. And it seems the other ones were actually gotten from OCRemix.com, which is really nostalgic too, holy shit. The one really good song that really stood out is indeed the only one done by an entirely different person. This person, Zircon Music, is actually one of the staff members on OC Remix. This song was made as a demo for FL Studio 9. I don't know what it is, but the idea of having such a rocking song as like your default for what you can create is just, it makes me think this is a very high tier audio program, holy shit. Zircon Music did the instrumentals, and the singer for the vocals was called Gillian Aversa. Zircon Music also did the entire soundtrack for Tangle Deep, and that's really cool. And then Gillian Aversa has gone on to be like insanely prolific and successful. She fucking sung for the God of War remake. It's good to know that the awesome final song and the creator of it have gone on to do way better things. They probably never even knew that some of their work was wasted on a terrible final fight. Some lines I seem to have missed during the final battle because of how it glitched. After she says, "Join me, or else," she then says, "I have a garden to tend to, full of mortal corpses. A rose bush would be quite nice. It's time to be planted, little roses." So yeah, that's the one bit we missed, and there is nothing after that. There is no, like, clarification of why the hell we should join her. It's just, she has blatantly said to us she's just an asshole, and she's also killed a bunch of people too, so why the fuck would we want to join her as opposed to Lord Francisco? The fact our characters have no personality means we've just been dragged into serving another different villain, I guess. It's such a fucking downer ending. Also looking through the files, I could find every bit of like the bonus feature Delilah script changes, so I don't have to go and play through the game again to see it. It also gives you an idea of precisely which bosses can be skipped before you get to her, because there's only dialogue for certain ones of them. It's actually way less than I expected, and it's really not worth all the trouble. Also, all the quotes are just arsehole shit. And every one of these, she only gets one line and none of the rest of it. The rest just gets randomised quips from her, which I'll go through at the end. The terrifying beastie, she says, "Ah ha ha, worthy angel indeed." Apparently this is an angel, and that's what angels of chaos are. I guess angels of chaos means demons, that's why she looks like a demon. And the binary between the characters. The creatures here are so wonderful. Ew, gross, get it over with. Ugh. These are angels of order. As such, feel free to slay them. That's another thing that was like mildly hinted at for like some of the equipment pickup dialogues. Is apparently there's angels of order and angels of chaos, and the reason why it's like angels aren't inherently good. They uphold the balance between good and evil. And because of that, it means, like, if good is winning too much, they come and they kick its ass, and if bad is winning too much, they also come and kick its ass. Like, they don't just help actual goodness. If the world gets too good, they're here to make it shittier. And I don't know which the order or the chaos is supposed to be that side. From how it's described, it did just sound like there was just one side of them, and they would switch alliances to stop, like, whichever side was most powerful. But apparently that's not it. She hates the order ones, and she's on the chaos ones. Everything is so unclear. Another really confusing bit of lore is, Francisco says this is what they were making in Bohea. Where is Bohea? What is Bohea? I don't know. Delilah says the peasants whipped together something awful, so who are the peasants? Why did the peasants make this one demon? Were the peasants another battling faction of arseholes? How many people were all fighting, and which one of them is actually supposed to be the evil? Was everyone just an arsehole? So then those are the only monsters that have a change of dialogue for her, and then whatever else you fight, you just get randomised Delilah phrases. Funny, I'm not sure I care what you do, just don't perish. Oh, I'd tell him to go to hell, but I'm sure my husband would make a witty remark right now. You do realise we have a gate to close? Sure, if it's a good thing angels have all of eternity. You three aren't as ladylike as I expected. Oh, can't say I mind. What do you want help? Mortals. Beauty is both a sin and perfection. Is this enough chatter for you? My husband did love to talk. You have more to do. Get on with it. Oh, I'll cut something off all right. My husband loved hats, not I! I cannot even debase myself to enjoy an accessory. Lucky me, you've killed my family. Well, the angel started it. Yeah, no one more, she doesn't fucking care. Lord Francisco apparently evil too, but at least he fucking cared. He seemed to genuinely love her. What was the point of all this shit? Gehenna's waiting, let's go. Careful, your socks are untied. And then the most confusing one is, what's that? I'm not Reen, I'm Delilah. And I don't know what that means, there is no character called Reen in the game. So I guess that might just be like an in-joke to one of the developers' other games, or like, was she originally going to have that name and they changed it? I don't know. And that's all the shit. Not worth a second playthrough, and it makes me hate her even more, and it just makes it even more clear. The ending isn't even Lord Francisco is bad, so we switch sides. It's just, for no reason, we have switched sides to an even worse villain who is clearly and obviously even worse, as opposed to Lord Francisco who is, like, trying to redeem himself for the shit he did. And I don't know why you're supposed to like this ending in any way, or feel any kind of positive emotion. I hate you, Delilah. That's the end of the fun facts. We end on, I hate you, Delilah. So, okay, I thought it'd be cool to talk about what would be my suggestions to fix this. I mean, we've already talked about, like, I would like to just have an opening cutscene which gives you an idea of what you're doing. But aside from that, with the story, I think actually go into Lord Francisco being as endearing as he is. Make it a genuine redemption arc of a guy who was flawed and made mistakes. It's not like trying to make it right and save everyone in the castle. You could still have a process of like starting off and like slowly revealing it, and like the comedy gives way to emotion. You have it like, I don't know, when he first wakes up from his coffin he has amnesia or something, and he thinks at the start we're just going in and we're taking back my castle from like some weirdo who's taken over it, and then he has a big emotional reaction saying like, oh my god, that skeleton, that's my son, and he has a husband, how long has it been, how long have I been dead? Like, 10 years have passed or something, I don't know. And also maybe give an actual reason why he did any of this bad stuff, and make it like a reason that makes sense to happen for like a sympathetic character who fell to darkness. My suggestion would be, I don't know, like, he was trying to get revenge against a rival wizard guy. He got lost in these revenge fantasies against some arsehole, and it led him to neglect his wife and son while they were all still alive. And he made this reckless, stupid choice to do something or other to get the power he needed to defeat whoever the other guy is. And everything went wrong and he didn't realise it was written down oh, it'll come at a great cost of what's most important to you. And he was like, well, what's most important to me is getting revenge, so I'm sure he'll be fine. He didn't even consciously realise, he really did care about his family deep down. He had gotten so lost in the source. And going through the castle and seeing all this makes him realise how much of a shithole he became, how he became just as bad as the guy he gave up his entire life and empathy and kindness to destroy. How he had things worth living for right in front of him and he threw them all away. How much he truly did love his wife and son and now he's tormented he wants to save them, but they're out of control. They're fighting him. They don't seem to have any sentience left. Is there any way to save this shambling corpse of my son? And it could be you can get a choice to put him down and free his soul, or to run from the battle and hope against hope that if we defeat whoever the hell's at the centre of this, maybe we can reverse the curse. And that can give you more of an incentive to go for the challenge run of getting to the final boss while defeating the minimum amount of enemies. It's you don't want to defeat all the enemies that are really emotionally important to him. And then I thought what could be extra emotional would be, what if the guy he wanted revenge on is just a minor boss along the way? He's starting off, he's thinking, oh, the person at the centre must be my evil rival guy. He must have subverted the spell somehow. He must have taken control of my castle. And then you just find that guy as a level 1 enemy in some corridor. He's already had his revenge years ago and he never realised it. And then he realises nothing has changed now I've had my revenge. Killing this guy would accomplish nothing. He's already long gone. All I'd be doing is just putting down a rabid animal. You fight level 1 slime rival and he gets no satisfaction for it. Knowing that he's gone, knowing that he'll never get the chance to have revenge. He'll never have his moral superiority over him. He can't even understand a word he says. And he just realised how he sacrificed everything good in his life in pursuit of this bitter idea that was never as good as he imagined it would be. And that could be a really tragic turning point in his character. The moment where he goes from comedic and jokey to okay, God, I fucked up. All I need to do is I need to try and find some way to fix this. It really galvanises you together as a party. It's a big friendship moment. I don't know. But that's another thing I would really, really want to do is just literally do anything with the party members, give them any personality, any interactions with each other. It's so weird how they never talk to each other or to you or even to Delilah. They just passively go with whoever is a protagonist right now. It's also weird how they never actually do anything jokey with the contrasting job titles. You'd think that someone who dresses like a vampire and is really just a prosecuting lawyer would actually be, funny and cool. You could have done so much just by naming the abilities and the equipment after that. The exact same spells, but she's casting objection. She equips the legendary gavel. If you hadn't used up all that space with random references to shit that doesn't make sense, you could have put a bit more character in there. So of course this version, Francisco's bonds with the party is they teach him to be a better person, they make him realise his wrongs, they make him stop running away from his problems and hiding behind humour to cope. They could have conflict of once the truth is revealed, do they leave him? Do they want to stay with him? Do they have disagreeing opinions about that? Is there a temporary moment where some of them leave the party? There are 1,000 things you could do with the idea of these characters having a mind and willpower. But in the end, ultimately, the super strong bonds, platonic friendship between these guys has reminded him of how good it is to have a family and all the things he's lost. And with their help, he's galvanised to go into the final battle and try and save his wife from whoever is at the centre of his spell. You have the song, the genuine emotional reaction of the song, the sheer total hopelessness of him realising his wife is the final demon at the end of it all. And in this version it wouldn't be that she's actually just evil all along. It would be that she was genuinely a loving wife and he genuinely loved her, she genuinely loved him. She was just a casualty caught in the spell. She was his most important thing in the world that he sacrificed unknowingly for revenge. And that's why she's the centre of the spell. The forces of the curse themselves have embodied her and taken over and used her as an instrument. So the voice talking out of her body isn't her own. It's I don't know, bring in those fucking angels of order and chaos. Because that is a genuinely interesting idea, the idea that angels aren't good. They just uphold the balance of the world above all else, and if evil is prospering, they'll stop it, but if good is prospering too much, they'll also stop it. And it also makes sense how a misguided guy who didn't think he was evil at first could make a deal with an angel assuming angels are good, and wouldn't have realised it would be a jackass genie who'll manipulate his wish in this way. So we have I don't know, the angel of death, the grim reaper, whoever, speaking through the body of his wife, and her soul is in there still crying out and begging destroy me, do it, free everyone and such. And you could have Lord Francisco breaking down. He's like, Angel, I understand what I did was wrong. You must just be doing this to test me, right? Because I was evil and you're good and you're stopping me. And then the angel gives a big speech about angels only care about balance. And like, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to make anything right because the balance of the world dictates we need a little bit more evil. That's why I nurtured the evil in your heart to bring it out to you. You will be the next Dark Lord that we need to restore balance, whether you want it or not. And then we have big fucking tragic boss battle, this amazingly sad song where you have to fight your wife to the death, no matter how much you don't want to. And you could take advantage of like the party chat in the narrator bar, just having like motivational quotes coming from the party members telling him to keep on fighting. Maybe this is a moment where Francisco himself finally joins the party and starts fighting back. Now he remembers that he's the guy who started the curse. He can use the power that he gained from it, this immortality power, the Leech King power, whatever. And also he's realised he can't just stand by on the sidelines and get other people to solve his problems. He can't run away from having to fight his family. If his wife has to be killed, he wants to be the one who does it. He wants to put it down with as little pain as possible. As the fight goes on, we have dramatic quotes on the party, dramatic quotes from Francisco, emotional beats, maybe even the voice of the wife herself just begging to him through the body of the angel, and like maybe it can have like moments where he gets through to her emotions and she's able to hold the angel back and like cast a status on it for one turn and give a breakthrough so you can get to it. There's so many good things you could do from this setup. Maybe depending on who you did or didn't choose to kill earlier on, you could have a moment where like the sun comes back. Instead of just summoning random avatars, maybe if you didn't beat the other bosses earlier, they get summoned in this fight. It's like, oh god, now I'm forced to fight my son. He is being summoned as an ally, and he'll be summoned over and over and over again, no matter how many times I kill him. And like, again, because of my inaction, I have caused him to be hurt even more, hammering in the lesson a bit more. Emotional dialogue, Lord Francisco trying to reach out to his son, trying to tell him, like, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you, I'm sorry you never got to tell me about being gay, I'm sorry you never felt you could be your true self around me, I'm sorry I never got to meet your husband and welcome you into the family, I'm sorry that you didn't get to live a long, happy marriage like I did with your mother. All into the silent, unseeing eye sockets of his son who is so far gone he can't even hear a word. Just inherently, this concept for a game could have been really emotional. That's what gets me so much. It could have been a really good story, and instead it's so un-story focused. And have the bit where the song goes, hold on! You have like a dramatic cutscene of him trying to reach his hand towards the wife, and then the monster thing takes over and slaps his hand away, and like that's the moment where he steels himself to fight and he joins the party, and oh, there's so much you could do with this. And I was thinking, like, it could be so dramatic. It's like, at the end, it's like the angel's like, oh, your wish has started to change. And that's the reason why you get, like, an opening and it starts becoming weaker. It's like the wish that caused the curse, the wish that's giving it all of its power. The wish to get revenge is no longer in his heart anymore. Now all he wishes is to undo everything he did wrong and to save everyone. And you get, like, a moment of hope, but then the angel becomes even stronger and even more vicious because it's like, now I know that you are good and I have to stop you to preserve the balance. But also Lord Francisco has got hope that if he defeats his angel, he might actually be able to undo his wish. And then that's the dramatic ending we get. He turns it around and he sacrifices himself to bring back everyone that he sacrificed in the first place. This fucking awesome cutscene, he like explodes into light or something, he takes the angel down with him, and as he fades out, you can see like a cutscene that pans over the castle and like motes of light fall down and you see everyone like come back to life. You get to see what they looked like in life. Like, it could just be generic RPGmaker sprites if you want, but like if you want to have like a custom asset for like the wife and the son and the son's boyfriend, that would all be really cool. And you get the melancholy note of them all waking up in this silent ruined castle, not remembering what happened and not knowing where the Lord has gone. And maybe there could even be like multiple endings. Like, depending on what you do, there's some kind of, maybe it's like beating the bonus Dante boss fight, maybe it's getting every possible ability and equip, maybe it's sparing the certain character, maybe it's killing every character depending on, like, morally, how would you think, like, is it good or bad to, like, spare someone the suffering of being used as a tool to kill other people? Anyway, you'd have the ending where he just fully sacrifices himself to save everyone, and then you'd have, like, a slightly better bittersweet ending, where, like, you have his wife crying over his corpse and being like, you can't just die like this isn't true redemption. We wanted you to change, we don't want you to go away, we don't want you to... How is this any different from how you ran away from us in the first place? Death doesn't solve anything, you can't just undo everything that happened with one big sacrifice. To truly become a better person, you've got to stay, you've got to live, you've got to keep on being better every day, you've got to be here to make up for what happened. I never wished because my husband is distant I want him dead. I just wished I could see him again. It's not a happy ending for me to be all alone. Just really opening up her heart and like really getting to see more of her personality, because of course we wouldn't have seen much of her in the plot until this point. And this could even be the section where she temporarily takes over as being the protagonist. Like, you go with her and you do some kind of extra bonus boss battles in the end to resurrect him. I think it would still be bittersweet and he would still have consequences for what he did, obviously. It wouldn't just be perfect, everyone's fine, and it's as if nothing really happened. Instead, I thought it could be fitting if he came back but he was still undead and he was just a skull. Like, he has no superpowers, he has no magic left. He's obviously going to have a bit of a troublesome time getting used to adapting to his new form. It's not like the sadness will be completely over for him now. And of course getting used to being more emotionally open with his family, making up for everything he did, rebuilding the kingdom. With the Queen as the new ruler now, of course. It's not like he doesn't get any consequences for what he did, but it's a more optimistic ending where he continues to live on and continues to change and grow. And I think that would be a really good reward for 100% completion. Now, you know what would be an even better award? You get to see the wedding between the prince and his boyfriend. Big emotional sad super wedding, and like cuts to a comedic thing of like the wife is holding Skull Francisco in her hands and he's like weeping out in his eye sockets, and it's just hilarious. And the protagonists are all, oh you, and it ends on that positive and jokey and fun note. And it feels like even if things are tough, even if we've gone through a lot of hardships, things will be getting better for all these people from here on. They've changed and grown so much in just a short amount of time we've known them, and yeah, where will we go from here? Who knows? Maybe there will be a sequel. Maybe I'll be more optimistic about that sequel. Maybe in this setting, hypothetically, I would be fine with a sequel being like 10,000 years in the future in a sci-fi setting. I don't know. It would feel like this story had actually had a complete ending. So yeah, sorry for that big ramble, but that's my suggestion. And that's the end of the video too. Don't really have much to say except what I've already said. It's always a bit of a letdown when a nostalgic game wasn't as good as you remembered. And I just hope I contributed something positive to the discussion. I hope you guys like my ideas.